Hello and welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are covering first game of the finals in FIDE World Cup 2023, which is played in Baku, Azerbaijan. Today's game is played between Rameshbabu Praggnanandhaa, who is playing with white, and former world chess champion Magnus Carlsen, who is playing with black pieces. What is so interesting about this game is that both players played really well. The accuracy was 98.5, and I will not showcase the result of this game. You will have to stay until the end to find out what happened in this game, and without further ado, we will go straight to it. Praggnanandhaa opened the game with c4, we have e5 for Magnus Carlsen, knight c3 for Praggnanandhaa, and knight f6 was played for Magnus, knight f3, and we have knight c6 for Magnus, and we are in English opening for knight's variation. Our game continued with g3 for Praggnanandhaa, with the idea to fianchetto this white squared bishop. We have d5 for Magnus Carlsen, and after c takes on d5, knight takes on d5, and right now Praggnanandhaa played bishop g2. In this position, Magnus Carlsen decided to play knight f6, but after this move, Magnus Carlsen had some other moves as well. One of the moves was to move this knight on b6 square, or simply play bishop c5 because this knight is protected. But our game continued with knight f6 for Magnus. We have b4 for Praggnanandhaa, grabbing the space and also giving away this pawn for the activity with rook b1. Magnus doesn't want to pick up this pawn and he plays bishop d6. Now computer sees this as an inaccuracy and recommends other move, another line here. So by computer, the best continuation for black in this position was to actually play e4 and attack this knight. After knight g5, we would have bishop picking up on b4, then knight g picks up on e4, we have knight picking up on e4, knight picking up on e4, and bishop f5 for Magnus. After that, bishop b2 is the best option for white, and this is the position that would transpire after this sort of exchange. Of course, Magnus Carlsen, I'm sure, had this in mind, but he decided not to play this, and he played bishop d6. After that, Praggnanandhaa plays sharp, as always, against Magnus Carlsen. As you all know, we have b5 attacking this knight, and knight d4 was played for Magnus. Praggnanandhaa for now refuses to trade and he plays queen a4, right now attacks this knight and now asks Magnus a question: what will you do? Magnus decided to pick up Praggnanandhaa's knight. We have bishop picking up on f3 and we have castle for Magnus Carlsen. Praggnanandhaa also decided to castle, always have to be careful about king's safety. We have a6 for Magnus Carlsen. Magnus now wants to open up his rook if the trade happens. For now, Praggnanandhaa refuses and he plays d3. Of course, you cannot pick up this pawn since this rook is vulnerable and it can be picked up by Praggnanandhaa. We have h6 for Magnus Carlsen. The idea is to stop and block this bishop from pinning this knight. We have bishop a3 for Praggnanandhaa. Right now Praggnanandhaa offers this trade. Our game continued with rook b8 for Magnus Carlsen. Computer sees this as a slight inaccuracy. Magnus's main idea is that now picking up this pawn is available because this rook is not vulnerable. Computer actually sees this as a slight inaccuracy, as I mentioned, and recommends playing this bishop on h3 as a better move. Of course, this is not a mistake. Our game continued with bishop picking up on d6. Praggnanandhaa decides to trade. We have c picks up on d6, and now we have rook a to b1 by Praggnanandhaa, again pinning this dark squared rook, and right now forcing Magnus to trade the pawns. We have a picking up on b5, we have queen picking up on b5, and right now we have bishop d7 for Magnus Carlsen attacking this queen. We have queen b6. Praggnanandhaa offers a queen trade. Magnus refuses and he plays bishop c6, right now attacking and aiming at this bishop. We have a queen trade on the board, and after rook f picks up on d8, we have bishop picking up this bishop, b picks up on c6, and we have king g2 played by Praggnanandhaa. Our game continued with rook a8. For now, Magnus refuses to trade his rooks, and now he wants to pressure this pawn here. We have rook b6, immediate counter attack by Praggnanandhaa, and a really good move in this position, pressuring this pawn. We have rook d to c8. Magnus wants to defend his pawn. We have a rook on c1. Right now, Praggnanandhaa again wants to put up even more pressure on this pawn because this is one of the weakest points in Magnus's position. Our game continued with d5. Magnus wants to strengthen his center and he wants to try and maybe create some passed pawns. Rook c2 was played for Praggnanandhaa with the idea just to scope this pawn here because Magnus has this move, and after the knight moves, this pawn can be picked up. So this pawn is weak, and that is the idea behind this move. We have knight d7 right now attacking this rook and asking Praggnanandhaa, what will you do? Praggnanandhaa for now plays rook b1. And we have knight c5 played by Magnus Carlsen. Our game continued with rook b to c1. Right now Praggnanandhaa makes a change in his plans, and he wants to try and pressure this pawn, and of course this knight will be weak after the discovery is made. We have rook to a5, Magnus with the idea to protect this knight. We have knight to b1 by Praggnanandhaa, again attacking this knight. We have knight going on e6 for black. We have knight d2 for Praggnanandhaa, right now trying to maneuver this knight and maybe put him on a better square like b3 or maybe f3. Our game continued with rook c to a8. Right now Magnus attacks this pawn and also leaves this pawn for Praggnanandhaa. Knight f3 was firstly played by Praggnanandhaa, and we have e4 on the board by Magnus Carlsen, attacking this knight and offering trade. Praggnanandhaa accepts this trade. We have d picks up on e4, d picks up on e4, and we have knight d2 by Praggnanandhaa. We have e3 for Magnus Carlsen, and right now Praggnanandhaa plays knight c4, although after e3 f picking up on e3 is a perfectly decent move as well. We have rook picking up on e2, knight e4, rook picks up on c2, and rook picks up on c2, and this position is a dead draw, so nothing wrong with picking up this pawn as well. Although these are double pawns, still it is a draw. But Praggnanandhaa probably refused playing this because right now Magnus will have a passed pawn, but still it is very hard to convert because the position is dead equal. So after knight c4 played for Praggnanandhaa, we have rook picking up on a2, we have knight picking up on e3, and we have knight d4 played by Magnus Carlsen attacking this rook. We have Praggnanandhaa trading rooks, Magnus picks up the rook, and rook c4 was played for Praggnanandhaa. Right now this pawn is under attack, but if Praggnanandhaa picks it up, if Magnus picks it up, then Praggnanandhaa will pick up this pawn. We have c5 played by Magnus Carlsen. We have rook picking up on c5, we have rook picking up on e2, and after this move players both agreed to a draw, and this is how this game ended. I will just show you one of the variations that maybe how this game maybe have continued. For example, after rook picking up on d2, rook d5 could be played. After that, knight e6, we have h4 on the board, we have g6 for Magnus Carlsen, h5, rook a2, rook e5, king g7, h picks up on g6, king picks up on g6, and again this position is a dead draw. As I mentioned from the start, a really precise game played by both players. This was their first classical game. Tomorrow second game will be played and Magnus Carlsen will have black pieces. It is always good for black to achieve a draw because as you all know, white has the advantage, especially in this sort of high-level plays with high-level players. When you manage to draw with black, it's always good news for you because tomorrow you will have white pieces and you will have the advantage of just simply playing white. And this was all I prepared for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, please make sure to leave a comment, like and share the video, as it really helps me a lot. Also, if you want to support the channel in other way, you can do that by donating through the link I will leave in the description below. All of the people who donated will be listed in each of my new videos. This is completely optional. I will continue making videos, but this is just another way you can support my work. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please let me know your thoughts about tomorrow's game and also about this game. Let me know who you think will win. Will we have a winner after tomorrow's game, or there will be another draw? Maybe we will have to go in some tie breaks. Let me know your comments. This is one of the main events of the year regarding chess, so I would really like to know your opinion. And as always, thank you for watching, and we will see each other in the next video. I wish you a pleasant night. Bye bye.